Hello, welcome to the House of the Spirits. Welcome home. This reading today is about getting clear messages from your ancestors. So, pile number 1, we have Sagittarius, Cancer, Aquarius, and Virgo. Your card is Hawk. For pile number 2, we have Scorpio, Libra, Gemini, Pisces. Your card is the Swan. Pile number 3, we have Aries, Taurus, Leo, and Capricorn. Your card is the Bull. Okay, I just noticed something interesting about this pile, that most of the signs here also have horns because we have Aries, Taurus, and Capricorn. That's super interesting, just like the Bull. Okay, so I will give you a moment for you to choose your pile using the card, the zodiac signs, or just your intuition. I will see you in your reading. Pile number 1, your card is the Hawk. And the Hawk is actually about your ancestors and your roots. So it's also about contemplation, making sure that you take time daily for contemplation and reflection, meditation, if that's something that you enjoy. And it's also about finding a sense of dignity in your roots, so knowing very well where you come from, having a very clear vision of where you come from and the past. So beautiful. Okay, so let's get you a clear message from your ancestors. Since we're now entering the season of the thinning of the veil, this is a very auspicious time to contact our ancestors to ask for guidance and advice. And I'm sure I'll be creating some new formats and readings because this month is always very special to me personally, but also because it's the channel's anniversary. So I'm sure I will create something special for this celebration. Okay, let's get you some cards. Okay, so we have main person and short illness. Okay, interesting. So I feel like this has something to do with also this reflection, this self-reflection, this contemplation state that you're now entering. It feels like it's an invitation for something else. Let's see. Singer of healing. Wow. So I guess it's an invitation for healing. And the hawk is also about cleansing, so purification. I was thinking at the beginning of the reading that's also going to be related to your home, so like tidying your home, cleansing, throwing away stuff that you don't need. The singer of initiation, and it's preparing you for something that's going to begin afterwards, shortly afterwards. So this is like, it feels like your ancestors are telling you that you should prepare for the beginning of something, and that preparation will need you to rest and contemplate and just be maybe lying down. Maybe the position is also interesting or relevant. The presence of animals, especially cats. Okay. And this is also talking about the challenges that you might be having, and that those are just like the gateway to a transformation, to a great process of healing. And even your body is responding to this. So it feels like everything is connected at this moment, and that all the little details are going to add up, and they're going to show you something that will give you the power to move forward. It's going to be like finding a pearl of wisdom. It's going to feel like finding a treasure that was lost. And maybe it's also connected to your ancestors. Moon in Sagittarius with optimism. Sun in Pisces with vision. Venus in Aries with lust. And Saturn in Sagittarius with fulfillment. So it feels to me like the challenge here is, as you're going through some sort of obstacle, to maintain the sweet sound of optimism, the sweet music of optimism, and also to keep your environment very pleasant as much as you can, even when you're going through any sort of difficulty, or if you're facing someone who is very challenging, if you are dealing with people who are have opposing views, or who have a kind of energy that might make you very tired and drained. They can even feel like, it feels like, I just want to go to sleep because I don't want to deal with this. And actually, you don't need to deal with that. You need to escape that situation, or you need to put it in its rightful place, so that you can open your eyes and see the possibilities of what is coming to, because in the end of this process, you're going to awaken a very strong desire, and I would say lust for life. So I would say it's going to awaken your ambitions, and you're going to understand how to fulfill them. It might also be the case that you're waiting for some sort of a payout, or you're waiting for a deal, or something that it's something connected to money. And with short illness here, it seems like you're kind of waiting for it to be resolved, because it's not about what you do. You just have to kind of wait, lie down and wait for it to go away. But it feels like you're going through a process of redirection also. It's like your eyes are being redirected. You're being shown something else. And it's interesting that you have the hawk has a very good vision, right? He's a predator. His eyes face forward, and it's much like this fox here. And the position, even the position of the characters is very similar. They're like straight, looking you straight in the eye. So it's something that's going to be made clear. Clear as the sun, clear as day. You're going to see the way, because maybe now you can't really see the way, and it's not really applied in a practical form, or it's not something that you can do. Okay, so let's get you some tarot cards. Eight of Swords, yeah, not seeing the way. Not seeing the way for now. You're not seeing the way. 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands is about communication, but it's, you see his position is kind of waiting also. Waiting for communication or waiting for a message, for something to drop. 7 of Wands. Standing your ground. These two come together. King of Cups. And oh, this one. Okay, it's fine. And the Sun. Okay. The 5 of Cups. Sorry about that. And Temperance. So it feels like someone around you is going to deal with some sort of sorrow. It doesn't seem like it's you, because you seem to be quite well established in your ways and like waiting for someone. You're waiting for someone to say goodbye to something. That's what I'm seeing here. You're waiting for someone to move forward. You're standing your ground, kind of waiting. You're not seeing the effects of something. You're not seeing it. But you're going to see it. So the message from your ancestors is that although you're not seeing something yet, you are going to see it very, very clearly. So for now, focusing on healing, because you're also going to be maybe standing beside this person while they're going through some sort of loss. And you bring the healing. You're like this mermaid, bringing the healing. She's swimming and flying. So I think that you're going to be both the shoulder to cry on and also the one who speaks, who brings good news, the one who brings like positivity and beautiful words, beautiful ideas, spiritual enlightenment and guidance. Strength card. 8 of Cups. Sorry for that. That's better. Okay. 8 of Pentacles. Okay. 6 of Pentacles. 9 of Wands. Page of Wands. I guess we have one more here peeking. The 9 of Pentacles. So that's what I'm seeing here, is that you're not really focused on this loss. Like you're not the one involved in this process. There's no indication here of this happening. Maybe you feel the loss in a way, like the loss of companionship, or the loss of some sort of position in this person's life. I don't know. Because it feels like this person is dealing with, very strong emotions. And it seems like you're in a stronger position. It's like you're still helping this person, even if you're not, even if you're not participating in this with a lot of intensity. So I wonder why your ancestors chose this specific situation to speak to you about, because it's like it's not very important, but at the same time it is important. So it's kind of strange. That's what they're saying. They're saying you're not involved in this. You're not directly involved in this, but you know what it's about, and you know maybe you can make a difference, but you're actually already making a good impact, like you have a good influence on this. It's positive, you bring something positive, but at the same time, this situation has something else to give you, and you have to wait. While you are doing the waiting, I feel like you just have to kind of relax, heal, relax and heal. Because it does feel like you have to be something, at the end of this process, you have to be something else. You have to become something else. Like the Temperance card, you're transmuting and you're alchemizing, you're transforming your present situation into something completely different. And maybe even your body is in this metamorphosis. It's being initiated into something different, into a new way of life, or into a new era of your life. And by the end of this process of healing, you're going to have what you need. You're going to, you're also going to be called. You're going to be summoned or invited. You're going to be invited. So it's just kind of like, for the time being, just chill if you can, if that's possible, because it feels like there's a lot of loss. Oh, there's something else here. Okay, so there's something else here. There's something else here. I know. Okay, so it feels like this loss is also collective. There's a lot of loss, okay, and in your collective, around you, and you're participating in it, but at the same time you're kind of just observing. That's what I was saying, like, this is so strange, because you're involved, but you're just fine, but at the same time you're not involved. You're kind of watching, but you have some sort of influence. So it's almost kind of social, okay? So it might be a specific person in your life, but it's a person who is maybe distant from you physically, or it's what I'm talking about, like the collective. So you feel the loss, you feel the heartbreak, or the sense of being torn away from something they love, or losing. Some people might lose the plot, okay? And that's going to maybe have some sort of like this air of desperation. But it's not, you have to wait for the wheels to turn because everything changes. And you have to be also, you have to, yeah, so it feels like you're also a part of a collective that is going to be led by a certain energy. And maybe you can help. Ah, okay. So you're going to help. So maybe you're kind of attracting this energy of loss so that when you're around people who feel like that, you're kind of like, okay, but you can come this way. You always have this. There's always, you know, something else in your ideas and your concepts and your mind just opens the door to, oh, okay, so I don't have to just cry on what I lost. I can consider other options. So even though I lost this, I didn't lose everything. I didn't lose the plot. So it's like you're saying, okay, but the story doesn't end here. The story doesn't end at that point. There's this and this and this and this. So I feel like your ancestors are kind of recruiting you, using this reading to kind of recruit you so that you understand why this sort of weight is around you, because you are the bringer of healing. And if you're feeling like the energy is very stuck and there's nothing that you can do really, just know that you're actually very blessed and lucky for having that kind of psychic power, psychic strength, because you're kind of, no, I am not going to be dominated by fear, and I'm not going to be led astray. I'm not going to deviate from my path. I know where I want to go. I know where I want to go. It's interesting because that's also in the guidebook for this card, is that once you're very, very sure of where you came from and you're proud of that and you choose to see the beautiful things about your origins and your roots and also, of course, your ancestors, you are also very conscious and you're at peace with where you're going to. So you have direction now. And it feels like you're kind of waiting for the moment to move towards that direction. But somehow that kind of hinges upon people who are still mourning. They're still kind of lost in the things that they lost, in the memory of the things that they have lost. So you don't have to worry about that. You just have to focus on your healing, relaxing, so kind of restoring your health, if that's the case, keeping the spirits up, keeping everything harmonious around you also, like clean environment, clean house, beautifying your surroundings so that you're constantly reminded of the beauty of God. So as much as you can. So if you can go to beautiful places that inspire you, that's great, because that's also very healing. And I don't know, I feel like this is the way to go for you. So this is the advice. 9 of Pentacles. You just picture this little gnome here and you try to do what he's doing. It feels very nice. I would love to be there with that flower and the butterfly. So And with the Page of Wands here, it feels like there's this positivity, this playfulness, playing music, playing and being by the hearth, enjoying mushrooms. Maybe mushrooms are also healing for you at the moment. If you know how to, what kinds of mushrooms there are, like life extending mushrooms. There are mushrooms that are great for the brain. So I'm not a doctor, and I'm not sure about the types. So, but you can get that information from an expert or some, like a counselor or something, someone who can inspire you to explore that if that's something that you're curious about. Okay, it's very cozy. So to be cozy, to feel comfortable in your surroundings and in your home, in your environment, with the people around you. Also maybe partying a bit might be nice. And yeah, whatever comes naturally, whatever feels relaxed, because you're going to also bring people to that kind of spirit later on. And it's going to be, actually, it's going to make a big difference. And it's also going to, and maybe this is also part of your profession, like to be a healer. If that's so, this is also here as like a source of fulfillment for you. Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm also available for personal readings at the moment. You can find my email in the description box below. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 2. Your card is the Swan. And the swan is actually associated with the Samhain and with Halloween. So we're getting close to that season. So it's also related to the thinning of the veil. It's related to the other world or otherworldly qualities, such as our psychic ability to travel to the other world or to connect with the other side of the veil. It's a very auspicious card for artists. It's very inspiring. It's having a beautiful connection to spirit and through love and beauty. Very, very ethereal. Okay, let's get you some cards. So your ancestors are maybe very happy to celebrate this season with you, and they want to connect with you through beauty and maybe even new love coming into your life, because the Swan is also an auspicious card for those who are seeking love and romance. Okay, so his thoughts. I guess someone is thinking about you a long way. Interesting. So I guess you're on someone else's mind. But maybe this person is far away from you. The Book. And the Maiden. I love this card. How sweet. It's so beautiful. And the energy is very, very sweet. It's actually similar to the Empress. So I would say love. Love is coming into your life. And it's also the beginning of a very creative phase. So maybe this whole season is going to be very, very creative. But the Book is also about paradoxes. So Maybe some things will show up in a way that's going to maybe be confusing, or it's going to feel like it's taking you in one direction, but then it goes the other way. Okay. Mars in Leo with egotism. Mars in Taurus with defense. Moon in Taurus with exaltation. And Saturn in Pisces with loss. Very paradoxical. You know, something is coming into your life that I think your ancestors want to talk to you about, because it seems like it's something very like brutish or rude or disagreeable, or it's something that's going to call your attention is going to be, it's going to be in one situation or in one part of the situation, when actually there's a whole other viewpoint that might be the creative way. But it seems to me like your ancestors want to kind of warn you about how to approach this, so that you get the creative part and not the confusing, kind of chaotic, or because maybe there's this person, I'm sensing like a character, like a person who is really self-centered, egotistical, maybe with the egotism card here, but just someone who kind of draws a lot of attention. It's kind of like that peacock energy, like maybe a little bit of exhibitionism, or kind of diva attitude, if that's not too offensive, I guess. But it seems like beyond that, or on the side of that, there's an extra portion of this meeting, of this situation, of the story, that you might miss out if you focus too much on that. So you kind of want to expand. So it's not so much that you have to pivot, it's more to expand. It's what I'm seeing here. And it might seem like you're including things that you would reject, maybe here with the Pook. It's like it's a paradoxical situation. Like, so imagine that you meet someone who is disagreeable, but then you know that there's something very important that they have for you, some piece of information or something that you really think that is maybe you're curious about, or maybe it's you find it interesting. Okay, I know that this person is like this, and I know that they're doing this because they're self-centered or something, but actually I think that there's something nice, there's something interesting about this person. And it's a bit paradoxical, because it's like you also have to be a bit egotistical like that person, so that the whole situation kind of expands, is instead of contracting. But it's very creative partnership if this is another person. Let's see. 3 of Swords. Transformation. Ukemochi. This is a death card. 5 of Staves. Yeah, it does feel like there's some sort of conflict here. But it's what I'm seeing here is that if there's conflict, it means there's still a chance. If there's conflict, it means that there's still life there, that it's not a total loss for everyone. Wisdom, Saraswati, this is the High Priestess. And as you can see, she is surrounded by swan. And the swan is also a symbol associated with Saraswati. The connection to the other world. Is this like divine intervention or something? Is there something coming in between? The Fool, beginnings with Tara. And the Eight of Staves. Okay, so it feels like that your ancestors want you to discover a different communication style. A different communication style, a new medium, maybe, a new way, a new method, a new way of transmitting your signal. They want you to discover new ways of communication. Eight of Swords. There's some, like an approach that's keeping you stuck here. Ace of Cups. Death card and Ace of Cups is really a big change of heart. You're going to change your opinion, to change something very fundamental about how you see this person or how you see the situation. Exactly. I think that you're changing how you see the situation, and it's also going to produce something very, very different in your mind. Four of Swords. Seven of Staves. And the last one. Movement. Chariot with Rhiannon. So that might not happen, but I think that your ancestors here are having this very clear message of be ready to move on from this. Like, be ready. So it's like when you go to the negotiating table, you have to be ready to leave. You have to be ready to give up, because if you go there with need, you're not free. And so the other person has already won the negotiation. So I guess that you will have to be ready to leave. If it comes to that, because maybe it doesn't. Maybe everyone comes together, everyone meets and agrees and cooperates. If that's the case, that's fine. But if not, be ready for, okay, it's not working. If it doesn't meet certain criteria, I can't move forward. So it's a bit like being ready. If you're ready to lose, you kind of won already, because you won yourself. You won your space and your authority and your sovereignty, okay, over your own, because you're responsible for something, right? You're always, this is kind of an interplay here of will, of expectations and will, and but I do feel like whatever happens, everything is moving forward together, actually. So it's not now, maybe afterwards it's going to develop, because you have a long way. And you also have the Maiden. And the maiden is so positive. It's like the sunlight in this reading. It's so beautiful and creative and simple and sweet. So to me, like this Ace of Cups here is really bringing this beautiful light from the heart. So whatever happens is out of love. Whatever happens is out of choosing the beautiful outcome, the most positive outcome. Everything in the outcome seems very connected to spirit. There's a lot of faith here. There's a lot of faith in each other also. So I feel like whatever is happening here, you're dealing with a group of people or someone or a part of yourself that actually really believes that you can do things, that you can achieve, that you can develop on your path, that there's movement forward, there's progress. I feel like there's something else that wants to come. Okay, just give me a moment. There's also something else, here. And it is about, for those of you who are sure that this is about a specific relationship in your life, this is something it's really important to keep in mind that you're growing together. It feels like that's what's happening. And maybe it's also about considering if you have children and if you're cherishing and nurturing a child, to understand that they're entering a new phase and that you have to accompany them through that transformation, and that you have to consider a lot of things, but whatever happens, it's going well. And it might feel like you're losing something, because it's like when you have this baby that you have to carry in your lap all the time and hold, and suddenly the baby starts walking, and then they're independent, and then they can do things on their own. So there's a sense of loss also there, because the baby's gone and now it's a child, and or now it's a toddler, and then it's a child, and then everything is constantly transforming, although it can be very slow. So for the psyche, it's hard because you get used to something like a routine, and then it changes, and then it changes. So that's the only constant in life, is change. And we're always kind of mourning something, losing the things that we did just a second ago, who we were just moments ago. So I feel like it's that partnership, like a beautiful love connection that is evolving, or a beautiful partnership that, if you are careful, and if you are, and I do think you are very careful, there's a lot of thoughtful consideration, not only on your part, but also on the other characters involved, whoever they may be. In your specific case, it feels like people are considering each other's thoughts and feelings, although sometimes the situation might be painful, but it's kind of the growing pains of a beautiful relationship. So whatever you do, whatever you choose to do, if you choose to just be apart for a while, or connect later on, or be constantly participating, whatever you choose, it feels like you're growing together, and that's a beautiful thing. So whatever happens, it's a part of your evolution, even if you're not in the same place. So imagine that you have a son or a daughter that are now going to college. So that's very painful separation sometimes for parents, and to have the empty nest, right? So, but that's a part of the love journey. It's to also learn to nurture each other, to cherish each other, and to nurture the relationship while being apart. It's a new way of loving each other. So that's for some of you. Oh, sorry about that. Just a little bit of hair. Okay, so that's for some of you. Okay. Yeah, I think that's that. Beautiful. Thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm also available for personal readings at the moment. You can find my email in the description box below. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye. Pile number 3. Your card is the Bull. And the Bull is an incredibly auspicious card for any sort of financial situation and for material abundance. So it makes reference of the god Taranis, and he's like a Jupiter. So it's about growth and expansion. It's about the capacity to work towards what we want with optimism and with positivity, having a lot of stamina, wealth, being wealthy, being abundant in general. But there's also something here about like soaring high. We also have these cranes here. It feels like there's something here about soaring to great heights also. Okay, so messages from your ancestors. Okay, 3 cards for you. Clear messages from your ancestors. Okay, there's a lot of cards for you. Success in love. And this card is about success in general. So if love is not what you're seeking, great happiness, and rich, good gentleman. Wow. So your ancestors are really reassuring you of the positivity and the expansion of what is growing in your life. Like there's a lot of great opportunities for material wealth also. Rich, good gentleman is also like getting help with that. You have the cornucopia, great happiness, abundance. Wow, very auspicious. Il the retriever and the singer of intuition. Okay. So maybe this reading today is also reminding you to follow your intuition. Moon in Aries with protection. You're protected. Mercury in Libra with influence. Okay. Mercury in Sagittarius with discovery. Sun in Leo with fortune. Wow. Fortune, great happiness, success in love, the Bull. Wow. Saturn in Pisces with loss. Interesting. Fortune and loss. So I guess that there's something that you're getting back. And it feels like it's something that was obscured by someone's words. Because you see, this is a very interesting image to me. That's the snake, the tongue of the snake is the symbol of Mercury. So it's like the snake is speaking lies, trying to influence things and to... But it feels like you're going to find out, and you're going to find out something that was obscured by the words of someone else. They were keeping it a secret, but it feels like it's taking something from you. It's taking something from you. But at the same time, you're also being protected from this influence. Okay. The pole star. Nine of arrows with dedication. Six of bows with abundance. Four of bows, celebration. Ace of bows, spark of life. Let me get you all the cards first. Three of bows, fulfillment. Okay. Two of arrows and eight of arrows. Four of cups with boredom. Seven of cups or vessels with mourning. And the seven of arrows with insecurity. So I guess your ancestors want to talk to you about a specific story. This is a very specific story. And you're blessed with certain characteristics in your life that either you're using at the moment in your favor, or that if you retrieve them, if you get them from the back of your mind or from your memory, or if you find a certain object that triggers inspiration, if you find something, maybe an ancestor left you. So maybe this is about what something an ancestor left behind that's being hidden from you, or that's going to be very important or meaningful once it's seen as, once it's considered. There's something that an ancestor left you that is not being considered. It's not a part of the equation. And it should be, because it feels like it's going to release you from a certain responsibility or burden. It feels like it can... If you knew about this, you would change your mind about something, or you would have a very different position, a very different approach to something. It feels like you're unaware of it for now. And also, because you don't know of this, you don't know about, I don't know if it's an object, if it's an asset, if it's something, because you don't know about it, it's like you're having, maybe you're afraid of things that you shouldn't be afraid of, or that you're just considering like the wrong, it's like you have the wrong premises, you have the wrong data. And it feels like once you maybe maybe they're like at a get together, like a family gathering, or there's some sort of reunion, or there's a celebration, and that information comes to the surface, and you realize what you have to do. Because you know how to turn things. You know, like you have this intuitive knowledge of good fortune. That's what I'm seeing here. Like, you know, it's like the lucky star. You have your lucky star, and you know that you're being guided by your ancestors also. And they will shine a light upon the situation. They will show you. They will show you. They will leave some object, like a clue. Someone is lying about something. Someone is obscuring the existence of something. Someone is obscuring. This is very mysterious. There's a lot of unseen energy here. And it feels like this reading comes to you so that you know that maybe you're more abundant than you realize. Like, you have more capability, power, wealth, abundance, energy. You have more than you think. It's like you have more resources than you think. And they want you to turn your attention to this. They want you to soar high, to see the higher perspective. Okay, so who is obscuring, or what is obscuring? Page of Arrows with Ren. I don't think that the person who is obscuring the information actually realizes the consequences of what they're doing. They don't think much of it. They don't think it's that serious. They don't think it's that important. King of Cups. And the Five of Bows with empowerment. So it feels to me like this person is trying to keep their position, like their emotional position. They don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to stir the surface of the water. They're very patient. They seem to be very controlled, like not in a very like bad way, but they just don't want to rock the boat. And it feels like it's the thing that makes them feel like things are okay. And this can also be about someone observing you to see, to gauge, you know, how they can collaborate with you or what they can achieve with you, because there's a lot of potential for partnership, maybe for material abundance, for business, some sort of deal, like considering you for a job. That's a possibility also. It feels like someone is looking at you and they're kind of refraining from saying everything that they mean, or of giving you all the information. And so at the same time, it seems a little bit manipulative, but at the same time, it's more about choosing battles, choosing the right time to do something, being wise about timing. So this might also have some sort of a protective effect on your life, actually. So although it's a strange energy, because when you find the truth, maybe you'll feel like a bit strange, like, wow, this is new to me, and it changes a lot. Like, my perspective on things is very different now. So it feels like this reading is preparing you for a moment of discovery, so that when you find out about something, that it doesn't really, that it feels like, okay, finally now I know what I was, I had this sneaky suspicion about. Now it clarifies things, so that it doesn't, it's not fear inducing, and it's not too confusing or disorienting once it happens. So it feels like someone is hiding something from you. It's something related to your material wealth and abundance. It's something that you have the right to. It's something that belongs to you. And Il the Retriever is also about getting something back, getting something that's yours, being reminded of something. But I do feel like you have this sneaky suspicion. You have this strange feeling like there's something off with this person. There's something that they're hiding, or something in this situation doesn't, the story isn't complete. There's something missing here, and you know it's going to be shown to you, but you just don't know when. It feels like it's going to be in a family gathering, in a meeting. There's a group of people. I see a group of people. So when you get this knowledge, you will be surrounded by other energies. And that might also be a bit confusing, because that might generate some sort of discomfort. Okay, just let me clarify this. The Green Man. Okay, so when you know this, when it might be tempting to be a bit angry, like, I wasted a lot of time because I didn't know how to do this. I wanted to have this done by, whenever. So it's really annoying to just know this now, or there's something there, like it becomes, it can become a power struggle. And I feel like this reading is warning you that it's actually not about that. And if you focus on that, you will lose out. You will miss out on something that's actually more important. And that's the road to your blessings, because there's a lot of expansion, growth, positivity, and possibilities here. And just because this little hiccup happened, it doesn't mean that you're not entitled, that you're not going to have your rightful place in this story. And if it is the other case, that this is someone who is considering you for a job or for a deal, something like that, it does feel like you're going to have a lot of responsibility, and that might come with a little bit of a loss of like free time or freedom, a certain loss of freedom, certain loss of other stuff that you want to do or that you like, that you enjoy. But it's actually But the power that comes from this, I do feel like it's going to be so positive and so uplifting that that little feeling of loss that you might have in the moment that might terrify you a little bit is going to be it's going to be balanced by this power, because it comes with responsibility. There's no running away from that, but I do feel like you will enjoy that responsibility. Okay. Four of arrows with rest. I just heard something like rest assured. Rest assured that this is for the higher good. There's no need to fuss, no need to panic, no need to be afraid, because you have what it takes. You're going to be surprised by the offer or by the information, but you have what it takes to embrace this fully, to be responsible, and to also be in control in a good way, like to have the situation in full view, to have this higher perspective. Okay. You kind of just ease into it and relax, because you've heard this before and in this reading. So it doesn't shock your system, it doesn't unnerve you, it doesn't block your way in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't stop your energy. Because when I see the bull, I also see like this driving force that just wants to overcome and run and just be unstoppable. Like I don't want to stop. I just want this like momentum to drive me forward. And it's very important for you to feel that momentum. So when you have this awareness of this information, it's important that it doesn't stop that movement, so that you keep that energy flowing forward. And because it's kind of it helps you. So it's like your past actions help you move forward, and it's important that you're not too distant from them, that you don't stop, so that it becomes cumulative, so that you can grow and grow and grow and grow. So it's almost like so imagine that you're an athlete or a dancer or something like that, or even a musician. Depends on the type and your specific mode of approaching the art. But usually people need to keep their bodies moving. It's like I've met people who train every single day, because that's how they keep their bodies always ready for what they need to do. Some athletes need to have periods of rest and then have periods of training. So, but it depends. So, but how you treat that sequence, that how you treat that organization, as long as it's always helping you move forward, as long as every bit of rest or every bit of food or every bit of training is a part of that moving force, of that unstoppable force, that's great. That's important. It's very important that it's not interrupted. So I feel like your ancestors are coming to help you have that continuity in spite of different offers or different energies that are interfering, opinions, visions. Because you might have to change some things about what you're doing, but it's important to keep that baseline. Okay, thank you so much for this. If you also enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm also available for personal readings at the moment. You will find my email in the description box below. I hope to see you again very soon. Bye.